To restore testosterone after age 50, you don't need to train harder. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. You don't need machines. You don't need long, exhausting workouts. What you need are the right movements. Movements powerful enough to awaken your largest muscle groups, to restore your body's natural force chain, to reopen the pelvis, to stabilize the deep core, and to bring your body back to the state where testosterone can perform the role it was designed for. That's what truly builds masculine strength. Not doing more, but training smarter. Today, we're not going through 6 exercises. We're going through 6 steps to restore your body's biological strength. 6 steps designed to reactivate your body's entire natural force chain. These 6 steps won't make your testosterone skyrocket overnight. But if you practice them consistently, you can gradually rebuild muscle, increase lower body strength, improve hip and pelvic mobility, and create a more favorable biological environment for maintaining masculine strength and vitality over time. And we'll begin with the most important first step. Step 1. Reopen the pelvis. If you want your body to generate force efficiently, you must rebuild its foundation, the pelvis. This becomes especially important for men over 50. As we age, we gradually lose the ability to squat deeply, stand up with ease, and control the pelvis the way we could when we were younger. The deep squat hold may be the single most important movement in this entire program, because it restores the primal movement pattern the male body was naturally designed to perform. Stand with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Turn your toes slightly outward. Slowly lower your center of gravity. Bring your hips down between your feet until you reach the lowest position that still feels comfortable. Keep your heels firmly planted on the floor. Open your chest. Maintain a neutral spine. Let your knees track in the same direction as your toes. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. Use your elbows to gently press your knees outward. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds. Then repeat for 3 sets. Don't force yourself lower than your current mobility allows. If your heels lift off the floor, place a folded towel or a small wedge beneath them. As your ankles become more mobile, gradually reduce the support. The goal isn't to squat as low as possible. It's to learn how to feel relaxed and stable in your deepest comfortable position. Breathe slowly. Allow your nervous system to relax. Your pelvis begins to open. Your deep core, pelvic floor, and glute muscles relearn how to work together as one integrated system. Once your pelvis has begun to open, the next thing you need to restore isn't your muscles. It's your nervous system. A muscle may be strong, but it's only truly powerful when your brain knows how to recruit it efficiently. That's why we move on to step 2. Reactivate the nervous system. Unlike traditional repetition-based exercises, the horse stance doesn't rely on movement. It creates continuous muscular tension. That sustained tension forces your quadriceps, glutes, inner thigh muscles, deep core, and the entire pelvic region to work without interruption. This type of stimulus teaches the nervous system how to sustain strength, improve motor control, and build muscular endurance. Stand with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Turn your toes slightly outward. Slowly lower your hips, as if you're sitting down into an invisible chair. Keep your chest upright. Brace your core gently. Keep your knees tracking outward. At first, you don't need to lower your thighs until they're parallel to the floor. Just find a depth where you can maintain a stable position. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Rest for about 30 seconds. Then repeat for 3 sets. If your legs are still weak, stay a little higher. As your strength improves, gradually lower your hips and increase your hold time to 45 to 60 seconds. If your legs begin to shake, that's completely normal. It's a sign that your nervous system is recruiting additional motor units to maintain force. But if you feel a sharp pain in your knees, stand up, reduce the depth, and begin again. Once your nervous system has been reactivated, it's time to awaken the most important muscle group for men, the glutes. Unfortunately, after years of sitting, the glutes of most men over 50 have almost fallen asleep. The brain gradually forgets how to recruit these muscles effectively. Instead, the lower back, quadriceps, and hamstrings are forced to work overtime to compensate. Over time, the pelvis becomes unstable, the deep core weakens, the body's natural force chain breaks down, and the hips begin to lose the strength they were designed to have. The next step is to restore the glutes to their proper role. Step 3. Wake up the glutes. The hip thrust is one of the most effective exercises for reactivating the glutes, the most powerful muscle group in the male body. Sit on the floor. Rest your upper back against the edge of a sturdy bench or a solid sofa. Bend your knees. Place your feet about hip width apart. Press your heels firmly into the floor. Slowly drive your hips upward until your shoulders, hips, and knees form a straight line. Hold the top position for about 2 seconds. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Then slowly lower your hips. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions. Complete 3 sets. With every hip drive, your glutes, deep core, pelvic floor, and spinal stabilizing muscles must work together to generate force. That sends a powerful biological signal to your nervous system that your body still needs a strong pelvis, a complete force chain, and a stable foundation to allow testosterone to continue performing its role. At first, don't worry about lifting your hips as high as possible or moving quickly. Focus instead on feeling your glutes doing the work of lifting your body, not your lower back. Once you can feel that difference, you're no longer just training your glutes. You're rebuilding the biological foundation of strength throughout your entire pelvic region. Now, your body's natural force chain has begun to function again. But true strength isn't built while standing on 2 legs. It's built when each leg is strong enough to support your body on its own. That's why, in the next step, we need to restore strength to each side of the body. Step 4. Rebuild single leg strength. The reverse lunge doesn't just require strength. It also demands balance, hip mobility, coordination, and full body control. These are essential qualities for maintaining men's biological strength after the age of 50. If the forward lunge still feels too difficult, start with the reverse lunge instead. Stepping backward makes the movement easier to control and places less stress on the knees. Stand tall. Step 1 foot backward. Lower your body until both knees are bent to approximately 90 degrees. Keep your front knee tracking in line with your toes. Drive through the heel of your front foot to return to the starting position. Then switch sides. Inhale as you lower yourself. Exhale as you rise. Every repetition should be slow and fully controlled. Perform 2 to 3 sets. Complete 8 to 12 repetitions per leg. The reverse lunge forces each leg to work independently. As a result, your brain can more easily identify and correct strength imbalances between the 2 sides of your body. Your force chain becomes more balanced. Your pelvis becomes more stable. And every movement becomes stronger, more efficient, and better coordinated. Step 5. Restore upper body pushing strength. Once your lower body has become stable, it's time to connect that strength to your upper body. After the age of 50, men don't just lose muscle in their legs. They also lose muscle in the chest, shoulders, arms, and throughout the core, which gradually weakens from years of inactivity. That's why, if you only train your legs, you'll miss half of your body's strength. Wall push-up. Stand facing a wall. Place your hands on the wall, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Step your feet backward until your body forms a straight line from your head to your heels. Brace your core gently. Squeeze your glutes. Maintain a neutral spine. Slowly bend your elbows, bringing your chest toward the wall. Keep your elbows angled about 30 to 45 degrees from your body. Pause for 1 second, then slowly press yourself back to the starting position. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions. Complete 3 sets. Don't let your hips sag. Don't crane your neck forward. Your entire body should move as one solid unit. That's how the body's natural force chain is meant to function. The wall push-up doesn't just strengthen your chest, shoulders, and triceps. It also activates your deep core, the muscles that stabilize your shoulder blades, and the nervous system that controls your entire upper body. It becomes the bridge that transfers strength from your legs, through your pelvis, through your core, and into your arms. When the exercise becomes easy, don't rush to add more repetitions. Instead, step your feet farther away from the wall, or progress to the incline push-up using a chair or bench. Lower your body a little more with each progression. The lower the angle, the more force your body must generate, until you can perform full push-ups on the floor with confidence and control. Step 6. Complete the pulling chain. A strong body doesn't just need pushing strength. It also needs pulling strength. The muscles of your back are what keep your shoulders open, stabilize your spine, and complete your body's entire force chain. That's why the Australian row is the final exercise in this program. Grip a sturdy horizontal bar, or any secure support that can safely hold your body weight. Position yourself underneath it. Keep your heels on the ground. Your entire body, from your head to your heels, should remain in one straight line. Pull your chest toward the bar while squeezing your shoulder blades together. Pause briefly, at the top, then lower yourself slowly and under control until your arms are fully extended. Perform 6 to 12 repetitions. Complete 3 sets. The Australian row strengthens your upper back, lats, rear shoulders, biceps, forearms, and grip strength. These are the muscle groups that often weaken the fastest after years of sitting, driving, or constantly looking down at a phone. As these muscles grow stronger, your shoulders naturally open, your chest lifts, your posture becomes more stable, and the force chain from your spine to your pelvis functions far more efficiently. Throughout the exercise, keep your chest open and your shoulders down. Don't jut your chin forward. Instead, think about driving your elbows down toward your hips, rather than simply pulling with your arms. If you need to make the exercise easier, stand your body more upright. If you want to make it more challenging, walk your feet farther forward until your body is nearly parallel to the floor. Most importantly, control both phases of every repetition, the pull and the lowering. Never let your body drop under gravity, because it's that controlled movement that teaches your nervous system, your muscles, and your entire force chain to adapt and grow stronger over time. You've just completed all 6 steps to restore your body as a whole. We began by reopening the pelvis. Then we reactivated the nervous system, awakened the glutes, restored single leg strength, built upper body pushing strength, and completed the process with pulling strength. That's exactly how the male body was designed to generate strength. Not through isolated muscles, but through one integrated chain of movement. These exercises are not a miracle cure. They won't make your testosterone skyrocket overnight. And they can't replace a healthy diet or appropriate medical treatment if you have clinically low testosterone. But if you practice them consistently, day after day, your body will continue receiving one very clear signal. This body still needs strength. When that signal is repeated over time, it helps create a more favorable biological environment for testosterone to continue playing its natural role in maintaining masculine strength and vitality. Commit to these 6 steps for the next 30 days. Don't focus only on the number on the scale. Pay attention instead to how your body generates force, how easily you stand up, sit down, move, and how much energy you feel each morning. Then come back and tell me, which movement made the biggest difference for your body?